The twin suns of Keeper's Ridge cast long shadows across the cracked earth as Milo stepped off the transport shuttle. The ranch stretched before him, a collection of dilapidated structures that had seen better centuries. Rust-colored dust swirled around his boots, and in the distance, the skeletal remains of what might have once been irrigation systems jutted from the ground, like ancient bones. "You actually bought this dump?" Hazel asked, hopping down beside him with her scanner in hand. Her dark hair whipped in the hot wind as she surveyed the property with critical eyes. "It was cheap," Milo replied, squinting at the main building. "And it's ours." The deed had cost him nearly everything, his savings from 5 years working asteroid mines, his father's inheritance, and a loan he'd probably regret. But Earth was overcrowded, and the colonial worlds offered something precious: space, freedom, a chance to build something with his own hands. Hazel tapped her scanner, frowning. "Milo, these readings are strange. There's some kind of energy signature beneath the property. Deep, really deep. Probably old mining equipment," he said, shouldering his pack. "The previous owner was Tuck. They mine everything." They spent the next few hours exploring. The main house was surprisingly intact once they cleared away decades of accumulated debris. Hazel managed to get the water filtration system running while Milo worked on the solar panels. By the time the suns began their descent, they had light, water, and hope. Then the ships arrived. They came without warning. 3 massive cruisers that blotted out the sunset, their hulls bearing the crimson insignia of the Tarkelian Empire. Smaller craft peeled away like predatory insects, surrounding the ranch in a perfect perimeter. "What the hell?" Hazel breathed, watching through the window as soldiers in ceremonial armor deployed around the property. Milo's stomach dropped. "Maybe we're in restricted space. Your deed was legal. I checked it 3 times. A voice boomed across the landscape, amplified by ship speakers. "Humans of this property, you are trespassing on sacred imperial ground. Surrender the land immediately, or face execution for desecration." Milo and Hazel exchanged glances. Through the window, they could see at least 200 soldiers, weapons trained on the house. Sacred ground. Hazel pulled up her scanner again, her fingers flying across the display. "Milo, that energy signature. It's not mining equipment. It's a tomb. A massive tomb complex. We didn't know." "Wait." She zoomed in on the readings. "This is old, really old, pre-Empire. And look at the designation markers. Her eyes widened. "This is the tomb of Kelthris, the Unifier, the founder of the Tarkelian Empire." The voice boomed again. "You have 1 cycle to evacuate. Then we will remove you by force." Milo felt his jaw tighten. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy: stubborn, reckless, unwilling to back down. It had earned them enemies and grudging respect in equal measure. He'd spent everything on this land. His future was here. "We're not leaving," he said quietly. Milo pulled up the Colonial Rights Charter, the one Earth signed with the Galactic Council. Hazel's fingers danced across her datapad. Section 47. Subsection 12. Any legally purchased property in neutral colonial zones cannot be seized without fair compensation and proper legal proceedings, regardless of cultural or historical significance to any party. "Broadcast it," Milo said, moving to the communications panel. "All frequencies." Within minutes, they had the attention of not just the Tarkelian soldiers, but the entire sector. Milo's message was simple. "This is human property. Legally purchased. We invoke Galactic Council protection under the Colonial Rights Charter. If the Tarkelian Empire wishes to reclaim this land, they must do so through proper legal channels, with fair compensation." The response was immediate. The Tarkelian commander's hologram appeared in their living room, a towering figure in ornate armor, his 4 eyes blazing with fury. "Humans do not understand what they have done," he hissed. "This is the resting place of our greatest leader. Your presence defiles it." "Then buy it back," Milo said calmly. "Legal, fair. By the rules your empire agreed to when it joined the Galactic Council. We do not negotiate with humans." Hazel interrupted, stepping beside Milo. "You mean the species that held off the Krelix invasion at Proxima? The ones who engineered the cure for red rot that saved billions across 6 systems? Those humans?" The commander's mandibles clicked in agitation. "We're not here to defile anything," Milo continued. "We didn't know what was beneath our land, but we bought it legally, and we're not being bullied off it. You want this property? Make an offer, a real one. We'll even agree to preservation covenants, restricted access, whatever you need. But we're not just walking away." The standoff lasted 3 days. During that time, the galactic media descended on Keeper's Ridge. What started as a property dispute became a civil. Once again, standing their ground against impossible odds. The Tarkelian Empire, facing mounting pressure from the Galactic Council and public opinion, finally sent negotiators. The offer they made was staggering. 10 times what Milo had paid, plus rights to an even larger ranch on the northern continent, complete with functioning infrastructure. But there was more. The Empire agreed to construct a memorial complex that would honor Kelthris while creating jobs for the growing human colony. Hazel was offered a position as the site's chief archaeologist. Milo was granted a seat on the local colonial council. As they watched the soldiers withdraw and the construction crews arrive, Hazel shook her head in amazement. Only humans, she said, would accidentally buy a god-emperor's tomb and turn it into a negotiation. Milo smiled, watching the twin suns set over land that was no longer his, but had given him something far more valuably a future, and proof that sometimes the most human thing you could do was simply refuse to give up. In the end, the broken ranch became a bridge between two civilizations, and the stubborn humans who wouldn't leave became legends in their own right.